Eric and I were recently in an ethics class that's required in the state of Illinois, and most states, Eric, have these requirements now.
Yeah, we have continuing education requirements, as most states do for their advisors. So we were in ethics class this last week.
And that leads us right into our subject today.
Voila!
Unethical annuity advisors, and there's certainly enough bad press out there.
That's right. And it was obviously, as we sat in the room in the training, you could tell the unethical advisors. They stood out.
That's right. I mean, of all of the folks in the room, wouldn't you say we were the most ethical?
Oh, most definitely.
Folks, there were only 4 of us,
Yeah.
and I would say that everyone there was very ethical.
That's right. The only unethical people are the ones that skip the training. So.
That's right.
So when he looks at we had the question, what does an ethical advisor look like, really, or what is ethics when it comes to financial advising? And so
it's hard to identify just by looking.
Yes, it doesn't. We don't have it printed on our foreheads that he's a good guy.
Right. Well, but what we've seen when it comes down to ethical advisors and unethical advisors, I mean, I think we should say, in all fairness, because we do work with a lot of advisors all over the country.
Yes, we do.
That it's very rare to actually come across someone who we would label as really unethical.
That's right. Yeah, and when we think of unethical, it's doing something that's basically not in the client's best interest.
Yes, that the interest is more self-serving,
right,
around the commission and how much this one pays or that one pays, as compared to what will really accomplish what the client needs, which annuity would really be best.
Right. So if you walk into an advisor's office, what are some of the things that are going to stand out to somebody that would say, this guy may be not acting in my best interest? So we got a little checklist here. So what would you say is the first and foremost thing?
Well, I would be looking, are they busy? Do they have other folks that are working with them, or do you feel like they've just got all of the time in the world to spend with you alone?
and do they want to do that very quickly and make sure you sign the contracts before you leave that day?
Yes. Are you feeling a little unnecessary pressure to buy the very best and last annuity available? That's a good deal.
Yeah, it's going away tonight, so if you don't buy now...
Have they asked you to maybe consider a mortgage on your home that would really boost your retirement security?
You mean it's wrong to mortgage your house and buy an annuity with those dollars?
I would say in the vast majority of cases that would be correct, Eric.
Yeah, it's when you're not having the dialogue with an advisor, that when he's not asking or she's not asking you the right questions as far as what you want to do with these dollars, that's a red flag.
That's a key. It really is. If that advisor isn't focusing on what your needs are and what your objectives and goals are to get you through retirement, and they're really focused immediately, very quickly, on a product and how great this product is,
That's a red flag.
Be aware.
Yeah. If they come in and they've already got the contract filled out before you sit down,
because they knew that this would be the one that you would not want to pass up.
So the concerns there, obviously another concern is liquidity. If someone's trying to take all of your assets and put them in one product,
or not really weighing over,
right? Not asking
that balance that Eric and I regularly recommend, and good advisors will recommend having a balance to your portfolio,
right?
And making sure that you have the liquidity.
Yes.
Some money that maybe can grow. If a person is interested in not afraid of the market, to have a portion of the money in there. For an inflation hedge, and to just fairly divide that money up so that it really makes sense for a long-term retirement, and that really takes a good cash flow analysis.
Yeah. So if they need to spend the time, ask the questions, have a dialogue about what your plans are, your goals are, so they're really meeting your needs with what they're offering. Now, we should probably just quickly touch on, there's a couple standards that are typically thrown around in our industry. You hear suitability standards, fiduciary standards. Do those come into play, you think, in the sense of an ethical advisor?
Well, I think that if we rely on legislation for ethics or a license for ethics, then we're looking in the wrong direction, because I will say that whether an advisor is under a suitability standard or a fiduciary standard, if they have a tendency to be unethical or do wrong, they're going to do it under either standard.
It doesn't matter what credentials you have behind your name.
It does not.
Yeah. I wonder what Bernie Madoff, I wonder what his credentials
He probably had them all already. So what you really want to do is if possible, check out some references.
Yeah.
Do some background checking. And that makes a big difference, in knowing who you're working with.
So there you have it. Our tips for choosing an ethical advisor.
And let's just say that the vast majority of advisors out there are ethical, and there is a small group that gives the industry a black eye, and the press is ready to sensationalize it. Thank you.
Thank you.